Well, hello everyone. So, how's everybody doing today? So, the month of mayhem has been a little weirder than I thought it was going to be, and unfortunately, I haven't portrayed some of that weirdness onto the YouTube channel yet. But, the egg video and the meow video, I just wanted to kind of put some stories out there, get some, things out. This is very personal to me, and, I'm just kind of putting some of my thoughts and some of my history out into the world. But I have been working on something. So I got the door shut. We're not going to talk about the little steelies over here, and we're not even going to talk about that right now. But the door's shut. I don't want anybody seeing what's going on in here. But behind me, things are happening. So, basically, as of right now, I pretty much I've made a couple of dollars, okay? And I got a couple of dollars coming in, and I've sold some stuff, and some things have been happening, and this is actually my third video I've made today. So a lot has happened, but pretty much the entire year is paid for. So at the end of this month, probably before the end of the month, but I should be able to have all my bills covered for the rest of the year and not have to work anymore. In fact, I'm probably not going to work anymore. So that's kind of a little hint of what's happening behind me. But there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of things moving and shaking, and I'm still building doors. I'm still selling doors, for the most part. But I'm working on a new type of business. That was the last video, and I had this great idea, and everything was perfect, and then it's been about an hour, and I've been thinking about it, and I kind of figured out what could possibly go wrong on it. It kind of seemed too good to be true, and I've been thinking about it in my head. And basically what the whole thing is, I know, I'm not talking about the stock market, but it's something that I call dollar cost averaging. It's not really the stock market definition. I don't even know if it's really a real definition, but it's how I call it. So it's when you buy mass quantities of stuff to get a better discount. So, it's a scalable purchasing thing. So if you go and say, hey, I want a gold ring, and they say, okay, it's $1,000 for the gold ring. You say, no, I want it for $300. They're like, you can't have it for $300. I say, well, how many do I have to buy to make it $300? And that's called dollar cost averaging. So you buy more items for a set amount of money, and that way each item costs less. But then you end up with a bunch of stuff that you have to figure out how to sell. So, and I've been thinking about some things in my head about something I could possibly sell, and and have the business scalable without having to incur more costs. In other words, I'm thinking about selling a particular item that I can buy, and the more I buy, the cheaper they get, and it's something that everybody can use, but not every single day. And can I scale it up to where, am I selling 10 a day, or if I'm selling 200 a day, do I have to hire more people, and do I have to incur more costs to be able to sell more items? And that's what I'm kind of thinking about. And I have an idea of something, but and I'm still thinking about it, so I'm not going to put any kind of real information out there right now. But and basically, when I say a scalable business, like restaurants and stuff like that, they're not really scalable, because the bigger you get, the more busy you get, the more people you have to hire, which means your labor costs and your food costs go up. So sometimes you actually lose money the more business you get. For instance, like in what I do, the doors. So I can sit here and sell hundreds of doors, but me as one person, I can't move hundreds of doors. So I would have to hire people, hire trucks, hire different avenues, hire different equipment to be able to move hundreds of doors. So, even though I'm selling more doors, I have to spend a lot more money to be able to get them out the door. And that's whenever I'm talking about scalable. Some business that are scalable, where you can make a lot of money and not have to hire a bunch of stuff. One of them being storage units. You have a set labor cost. buying and selling online. You know, you list every single day. As soon as your sales go up and you're shipping a lot of stuff, you don't list anymore because you're too busy packing and shipping. So that kind of balances out, and you end up with this little bit of a yo-yo thing to where you have a lot of time listing, you have a lot of time selling. You know, sometimes both of them are happening at the same time, but that's a scalable business. So the more things you list, the more things you can sell. And then if you're spending all day packing, then it's going to scale back down automatically for you being one person. You know, or if you have two people, one person selling, one person shipping, you know, then you can expand it even more when you have a two-person team. You know, and a two-person business, honestly, is the best business to have, but that's beside the point. So, but back on me. So I'm kind of thinking about something that I can do because the doors are kind of going away pretty quick, and I'm honestly thinking about what to do once I'm out of this situation, you know. And now you know, for those of you who know, I had a bad day a couple years ago, and all that, you know, what I've been dealing with and a lot of the pain and all the stuff I've been kind of dealing with, that's finally coming to an end to where by the end of the month, that'll be at least, you know, closed out to where I can look at different avenues of not being in pain. So, but all that being said is I got a lot of stuff that I'm working on. I did meet someone who I'm going to try trading a little bit of my knowledge and help them out renovating the house in exchange for them showing me how to make Carl come to life and get the second channel up and running, and maybe doing a little bit of editing so I can put some stuff on here, you know. So I don't know if we can work that trade out or if we're going to, you know, how it's going to work out. But, you know, I really want to help them save a lot of money getting their house put together, and hopefully they're not going to charge me too much to, you know, figure out how to get this channel to the next level, because I really need to learn a certain way. It's just the way my brain works, and it's so hard for me to sit there and watch a video, and half the times when I watch a video them showing how to do something, they'll do a jump cut to something else, and I'm like, what the hell just happened in between? And that's the part that I miss, you know. So it's kind of one of them things I just have to watch someone else edit for 20-30 minutes and just kind of be over the shoulder and say, what do you do there, you know, or how do you do this? Once they show me, I'm good. I'll never have to ask another question. I'll figure it out after that. But it's, you know, it's kind of like a sewing machine. Okay, I know the basics of sewing, but I don't know how to set up the damn machine. So until someone shows me how to set up the machine and actually get it up and running, I can't get to the point of actually, you know, I've watched people sew, but I've never seen someone set up the damn machine. You know, so it's little stupid things like that that make my brain just a wonderful place to be on a day-to-day basis. So the table keeps rolling away from me. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening behind me right now. Actually, my hands, I just washed my hands not too long ago, but you can see the lines on my arms. You know, I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but see all the little lines there, and the lines and the welts I'm getting right here. Yeah, I'm doing something. So, and because of the fact that, you know, I really can't make that much money for the rest of the year, I'm actually, for, you know, healthcare and all that stuff, I'm only allowed to make so much money a year, and I pretty much already made it. So unless I go and buy a bunch of stuff and reduce how much money I made, you know, like a new car or another house, you know, I'm kind of stuck right now. So, but we'll see what happens. So in the meantime, I'm going to be looking at a different venture. I'm thinking about maybe I might have a little bit of extra room here, so I might bring the turd car, you know, the transportation under regular distress. I might bring that up here and start playing around with that inside here. I'm looking at buying a steel building and putting it on the back of one of my properties. But I got to pour concrete, and, you know, it's a permitting thing, but I'm looking at doing that. I'm looking at a couple, you know, I have to spend some money so I can make more money, you know, because I'm only allowed to make so much a year, or else, you know, I get in a bad situation with the healthcare stuff. So, but yeah, I'm done for the rest of the year. I don't know what to do. So I have to spend some money so I can make some more. And that's why I'm thinking about starting this other business. That way I can put some money into that, and if I don't make any money for a while, it's not a big deal. It's a nest egg for me. So, but hey, just out of curiosity, because I know all kinds of stuff. I am a treasure trove of all kinds of information, and I don't ever know what to put out on here. So do y'all have any questions, like financial advice, like how to start a business, advertising, stuff like that, how not to waste money starting a business? Because all I've ever done is run businesses. When everybody else was playing cowboys and Indians and cops and robbers, I was playing bank and store. Okay, I've been buying and selling since I was 10 years old. This is my life. I was raised in the flea market. My mom pretty much ran her business, and I was right there with her the whole time. My real dad was a straight hustler. Like he got a job and he was hustling so much shit on the side. And I kind of took after both of them and perfected, both their particular genres. And if you're a hustler, I can show you how to hustle better, and keep it all legal. So, but no, I'm trying to help you guys out. And, if you need something, if you need a question to be answered, ask a question. I'll make a video about it, and it's not just about you, but it might help other people too. So, but I got 1,000 videos on this channel of me doing stupid shit and making money. And, I'm not rich, but that's because I don't want to be rich. I don't want to, have a $100,000 home. I'm happy with my $6,000 house. I don't want to sit here and have a $80,000 car. I'm happy with Hoochie Mama, $200. That's more of a flex. Me driving that $200 truck is more of a flex in my mind than driving a $60,000 Corvette. Straight up. So, and I don't know if I ever told you, there's a store here in Jacksonville. It's K&G Fashion, and they make little suits and stuff. And I went and had a suit made. And there was me, and then there was another guy in there. And now when I pulled up, there was like a $200,000 or $150,000 Bentley, and I pulled up right next to it. And it turns out when I'm in there and they were measuring me and getting the little suit made up, I'm sitting there right when I bought Hoochie Mama, and this is like in the very beginning. He's sitting there like, well, don't get me on this and don't do this. And, I'm sitting there, I'm like, why are you being cheap, man? This is these people's job. This is how, they get stuff done. That's how they make their living. And I was like, hey, just out of curiosity, is that your Bentley? He goes, yeah, man. He's like, you like it? I was like, yeah, it's a car. I guess it does, the same exact thing that mine does. He's like, what you got? I was like, I got the Expedition I just bought for $200, And I was like, maybe if you didn't spend, $200,000 on that Bentley, you wouldn't be bitching about a damn cheap-ass suit. So, I have a unique way of pissing people off. So, and I just thought of something else too. There's nothing relating to this story, but there was one time I was in Hardy. Was it Hardee's? No. Yeah, it was Hardy. They got them little chicken finger things. And I was up at Hardy, up at Ocean Way, and I walk in there, and there was a guy already waiting, and I go in there and say, hey, let me get, I think they had like the little 5-pack of chicken fingers, the Q sauce or whatever it's called back when that first came out. I was like, let me get some of that, and so I'm sitting there waiting. They're like, it's taking a minute. I was like, nah, it's all cool, And he was like, man, they taking forever. And I looked over and I was like, well, how long would it take for you to drive your ass home and cook it yourself? I almost got in a fight that day. But see, that's how I look at stuff. If I go into a restaurant and it takes them a little bit extra time, I don't sweat shit like that. It's because I sit here and look at it saying, okay, how long would it take for me to go cook it all and get it ready and then have to clean up the dishes and everything else? For me, it's cheaper and easier for me just to go out and buy food. The problem is not all that food's as healthy as I need to be eating, but I look at the world differently. I see people all the time getting upset over the stupidest little things, but anyways, if there's anything that I can help you guys out, because that's the whole purpose of this channel, that's kind of went in directions I never thought it would go. But, you know, if you do have any questions or just anything that you're pondering about, you know, life secrets, you know, mythical beings, whatever the hell, I don't care. Just pop a little question down below, do the little thumbs up thing, you know, hell, hit subscribe if you want, you know. I know I'm not the most entertaining. I'm not, you know, some famous YouTuber, and I don't want to be, you know, but I just want to show y'all like real shit, stuff I do day to day, you know, except for the last two videos. I will admit the last two videos were a little different, you know, so I was trying to be artsy. I don't know if it came off that way, but I was honestly, like with the little cat plate thing, you know, I was moving around trying to make the light flicker in the plate. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but I was trying to, you know, manipulate the light in the plate. I did that on purpose. So, but anyways, I'm just trying stuff out. I don't know what the hell. You know, I've been doing this 4 years, over 1,000 videos, and I don't know. But I'm going to keep trying. I'm not giving up. I am not giving up. I'm going to do this shit until the day I die. And then I'll probably finally get paid. So, but anyways, that's it for now. Peace, love, money. I'm out.